Hey YouTube, F True Wrestling here, Brian Crazy,
JC Styles,
and we are back with Victory Road 2011 results. TNA Victory Road just went off the air. It is 3/13/2011 still, and we are here with our thoughts, the results, and the big news of the night. So JC, why don't you cover the major events, and then we'll jump into the card.
Alright, well basically we're going to introduce a new format. We're going to give you guys the news right out, and then we're going to go back and discuss the matches, so that way you guys can get the news right up front. So we're just going to get right into it.
Just in case if you don't have time to sit here and watch the whole 15-minute video, in the first couple minutes, you'll get the major news of the night. Then we'll jump into our detailed descriptions of moves, matches, and more detailed outcomes. So I guess the biggest thing coming out of the night is Sting retains the TNA heavyweight title in the world's shortest match.
Yeah, at first I was thinking when they said Eric Bischoff came out and basically states, since Jeff Hardy wasn't, ready for you last 2 weeks ago when you returned, Jeff Hardy's been training for what we're going to throw at you, Sting. And kind of what I was thinking when they were going with this angle, I thought they were going to kind of introduce the Fatal 4.
Now, do we just want to give our fans what's going on, or do we want to give them the whole...
Let's just run down through the whole thing like we normally do.
Okay, because I just wanted to see how we're doing this, because, I mean, if we were going to start off with the end of the card, then maybe we should get the whole detail. I just want to give our fans the best possible experience. But like JC said, we saw Sting retain the title. We saw a new Knockouts Tag Team Champions, We saw Kazarian retain the X Division title. And we saw Beer Money retain the Tag Team Championships. So now we'll run through the card. The first match of the night was Tommy Dreamer versus the world's... I was just about to say, the world's dumbest gimmick, Bully Ray. I'm so tired of seeing this guy.
We were having problems with our cable network for some reason. We put the order in for the pay-per-view, and for some reason we had to wind up calling them up and says, we don't have any information saying that you ordered the pay-per-view, this, that, and the other. I was like, well, bullshit. We went through all the proper instructions on the TV. So I think we got 3/4 into the first match, and that's when the cable finally decided to click over. We saw. From the recaps, we saw a very brutal Falls Count Anywhere match.
Oh, it was excellent. Yeah, it definitely, did get a little more brutal as the match progressed. I do have to say, then, really the turning point in the match is kind of when Devon's kids came walking out. We saw Devon get into the ring, and we saw Tommy Dreamer and Devon hit 3D through the table on Bully Ray. So that was pretty sweet. I predicted that Tommy Dreamer was going to pick up the win. I'm glad he did. Like I said, the world's worst gimmick in Bully Ray really needs to end.
He's always been a bully, even towards the fans. Like when I seen them live a couple of years ago in Wallingford, at the time, Brother Ray was actually bullying this little kid around because he was a Boston Red Sox fan, and we all know the Dudleys are from New York.
Wait a minute, didn't your father at that same event, he was telling me, he told him that,
fuck off, go back to ECW?
And he said, fuck you, old man, or something? That's great. That's fan interaction. Now, speaking of fan interaction, we have gotten a lot of good responses on our Q&A promo that I put out earlier this afternoon. Please drop your questions. Me and JC will be back either tomorrow or the following day with the returning episode 4 of F and True Q&A.
Also, as this video is being recorded, it should be done by the time this is uploaded. My review of WWE's Wrestling's Highest Flyers DVD. So check that out.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I've never done a DVD review, but I've watched so many good documentaries in the last couple weeks. And the one that has really caught my eye was Bobby the Brain Heenan. And I might bring you a DVD review on that. So our next match we move into is for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. We see Winter and Angelina defend against Sarita and her conveniently named cousin, Rosita.
Yeah, to be honest, like, before we came down and we started recording this video, I even told Brian, I said, I think this match was a hell of a lot better than the 30-second main event match.
30 seconds? I thought it was at least 40 seconds.
I thought this match, at least they fucking tried to put on a good show. And what the fuck was Winter wearing? Was that a bikini or a one-piece bikini? What is she going back to the 50s with that outfit?
like doo-wop and shit, man. But it was just funny because, like, I don't know, somehow that crazy bitch always turns the tide and makes Velvet look insane. Exactly. She was like, "Oh, I've always been nice to Velvet. You crazy bitch! You know how many times you attacked her?" Like, yo, and Angelina actually looked like she was buying it. So if she's that gullible, I mean, Madison Rayne did take over the beautiful people from her once, so I mean, I guess she is that gullible. But crap, lighting technical difficulties at F and True Studios. Yeah, some studio, our back porch. Like our boy CJ Styles over at ADTV says, we like money, donate please. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Hey guys, I'm trying to get my car fixed. Can you please donate money to my PayPal? It's Brian Gardner at Comcast.net. Donations of $1,000 and above would be appreciated. Thank you. Alright, as long as we got that out of our way, that's our opinion on that. A lot of you have asked. Next, we see the Blueprint Mac Morgan. My personal favorite go against Joey's personal favorite, Supermax Hernandez.
This match was kind of like lopsided. I mean, it went from time to time it would go in Morgan's favor, then back to Hernandez, then back to Morgan, back to Hernandez. And I think the funny moment of the match is when Morgan hit Hernandez in the face with the chain, and Morgan was lying on the floor in the corner. And then when Morgan went to go grab Hernandez. Hernandez turned around and squirted fake blood all over Morgan, and this was something similar to what we would have seen Eddie Guerrero do back in the past.
It felt so much like Eddie, man. It was like almost just like, hey, my Mexican brother Eddie, man, this is for you. It was kind of cool. I loved it. It just reminded me, like, bam, here's the chair. You know what I mean? It was just like classic, and it was like, damn. I mean, you know what the one thing that I always loved about professional wrestling, and I do just have to get this out there, is that they never watch replays. And it's just so funny. Because, I mean, dude, it's a televised show. There's a replay. But, obviously...
And clearly in the main event, Hardy's left shoulder wasn't down. It was actually off the mat. So, yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's their point of view. No one else's. Remember that. And, if everybody in the world worked like that, I would be driving a 2010 Jaguar, and I'd probably be living somewhere in Palm Springs.
And I'd be living off of Miami Beach with a nice little beachfront property, and I'd be driving an Acura TL 2010.
Yes, and we would both be having coconuts. But, as you can tell, we're just...
Speaking of coconuts, a funny thing, and it has to do related to wrestling. A lady came through my line as I...
Like Joey's talking about coconuts, I'm going to check the time.
Yes, I work at Price Chopper. It is a grocery store up here in Connecticut. If you guys know or live around the New York State area and the Connecticut State area, you know that they're very popular up this way.
They chop your prices.
This lady came around with a bag of coconuts, and one of my buddies that were on the cashier behind me was heavily into wrestling, and I turned around and I grabbed the coconuts. Like, he said, "You want to reenact Piper's Pick? You'll be Superfly Snooker, I'll be Piper."
Oh man, that's good. But moving on to our next match, because we are at 8 minutes and we're limited to 15 minutes because
YouTube was being gay.
No, gayish. Yes, we love YouTube. YouTube's given us a medium to be able to discuss wrestling like we have never been able to discuss it before. Our next match, we see Kazarian defend against Max and Jeremy Buck and Robbie E in a fatal 4-way Ultimate X match for the X Division Championship of the world.
I wanted to see Robbie E pick up the title. I'm not disappointed that Kazarian retained. I mean, I like Kazarian as well. I've been for a long time. I just think that if Robbie E was more focused on grabbing the title than fist pumping, he would be TNA X Division champion.
Robbie E was the only one that was smart enough to grab a ladder, though.
Yes.
You do have to say, I mean, you can say whatever you want about the guy, but he was the only one that was like, wait a minute.
Which we've seen in the past done before, but the actual rules are you're supposed to scale the ropes and retrieve the title, not climb a ladder.
Exactly. But it was just like, you would think the dumbest competitor was actually the smartest of the night, in common sense. But I was hoping Robbie E was gonna win just because I don't know. I've started to kind of like the guy. I mean, he is a very good competitor. Kazarian won. It's the way it is. I like Kaz. Good for him. You know, let his title reign continue. A strong champion does get to hold his belt for a few months, not 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Like the Jay Lethal runs of last year.
Well, he's been champion since before Christmas.
Exactly. Remember that? Our Christmas episode. Check it out. It was quite good. Next match. You want to take it?
Yeah, we see Beer Money, my boys, are going against his wife's favorite tag team for some reason, Inc. Inc. And, you know, it was a pretty good match. It was definitely a back-and-forth competition. You know, we expected this out of both teams. And we see Beer Money, you know, get the better of Inc. Inc. and retain the titles. Afterwards, we see Shannon Moore grab the beer and spit it in, I think it was what it was Storm's face. And he started yelling at Jesse Neal, saying, "You need to man up, and you're not a student anymore," whatever that means. But I think Jesse Neal, if it wasn't for Jesse Neal, he probably would have got hit with the DWI, drinking while investing, a lot sooner in the match.
You know, I think Jesse Neal really did hold his own weight in this match. I think Shannon Moore was just a, a sort of loser at the end. I think that's what it is. I think Shannon Moore really hasn't been able to catch too much of a break in TNA as of late. And I don't think it's, lack of in-ring ability or anything of that nature. I think it's just wrong place, wrong time. And I think,
or maybe TNA just doesn't know what to do with them.
Well, not just that. I don't think it's a mismanagement of booking. I think it's just, it's just circumstance. It's the way the storyline's being written right now. It's who they have a spot for in the program. The storyline's very immortal heavy right now. And I'm not saying that's a bad direction to be going. It's just the current direction they're going. And unfortunately, you got a 60-man roster. You can't fit them all on the show every night.
Exactly.
That's the facts of life. And speaking, we did not touch on this about a week or two ago. Shark Boy asked for his release from TNA and was granted it. I just thought we'd throw that out there. A little bit of
also a little bit of information too.
We're at 12. We're at like 12, 13 minutes.
Angelina from Jersey Shore has been training at a wrestling federation called IWF in New Jersey. She actually is looking for TNA to sign a contract with them as a talent development. I don't know, celebrities in wrestling have never been a good mix unless they were a wrestler first and then became a celebrity through movies. But I don't know, I mean...
Well, it just seems like wrestling was convenient for her to jump into now that her Jersey Shore career is winding down.
Winding down, don't you mean over? She left the Jersey Shore first season and then she left the second season.
The only one that I've seen transition from a reality-based show to wrestling and been successful is The Miz.
Exactly.
And The Miz is even struggling at best.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that question his credibility, but I think he's doing okay with what he's got.
But The Miz also has almost like 6 years worth of wrestling
experience
under his belt.
Maybe she can... I doubt it, but maybe she could. We got 3 matches left. Unfortunately, we are really running out of time, so we're just going to highlight them real quick. We had AJ Styles versus Matt Hardy. We had the #1 contender match, and then we had the world title match. Let's just run through it. Yeah. We're out of time.
AJ and Matt Hardy was actually, I would probably say, match of the night. Definitely picked up where the beginning of the card was kind of a little...
He looked much better shape tonight. He was doing a lot of high-flying moves.
Definitely was a lot better than what his first match...
What did you think of the DDT and then the moonsault? I thought that was very good execution and delivery.
On AJ?
Yes. No, on Matt Hardy's part.
Matt Hardy doing it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not really
he didn't look sloppy tonight. He really looked sharp.
He hit more of the mat than he did AJ with the moonsault.
True. But he didn't look sloppy. I'm going to check our camera one more time, guys. Joey, please continue for our fans.
He's never really had good execution when it came to the moonsault. We see AJ go up for the spiral tap. And we see the ref actually trying to hold Flair out of the ring while he's counting the 3. We see my boy AJ pick up the win.
I know Earl has a lot of history with Ric Flair, so he knows what to expect there. And the #1 contender match, guys, we're at 14 minutes. Unfortunately, we only get 15, so we're just going to have to spit it right out.
Double count out.
Double count out. BS. We still don't have #1 contender. We jump into the World Tag Team match.
The World
Heavyweight match. Excuse me. 30 fucking seconds. Eric Bischoff comes out like JC said at the beginning of the night. He makes it no disqualification. Sting grabs Hardy like they were standing like this. Boom. Scorpion.
1, 2, 3.
Scorpion death drop.
Oh, Scorpion, the SDD.
Yeah, Scorpion death drop. Bam. 1, 2, 3. That was it.
So what?
$40? $40 later? Are you kidding me?
So With that being said, we still have nothing going in, no matches announced for Lockdown.
But you have to be honest, the first 3/4 of this pay-per-view was good. Into the bullshit with the last...
The whole card was good with the exception of the last match.
With the last match. Yeah, even the double countout was good. RVD and Anderson did deliver. You have to admit, RVD did okay tonight. He did.
They definitely did.
Alright, guys, this is all we got.